Vicki Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Thanks for being here with me, and special thanks as always to all my subscribers, anyone who watches, likes my videos, sends me nice messages, sends me emails. And very, very special thanks, of course, to my members. We had such a good members live, didn't we, last night? Thank you for being members. Thank you to everyone who has bought me a Ko-fi, sent me a super chat, PayPal'd me. Some of you are so very supportive. Thank you. But anyone who supported my channel in any way, and just for being here with me now, thank you. Okay, so sorry I'm a bit early. You know, I was going to do this stream later, but it turned out I was ready. You know, I normally have later classes on a Wednesday. God, I've forgotten what day it is at the moment, because my classes are not in the same routine as they normally are, because in July and August classes go quiet. So I'm not in the same routine that I normally am, so I forget. Sometimes I forget when, you know, have I got class today with such and such, or are they on holiday, or that, you know, it's all a bit over the place. And I normally have a later class on a Wednesday, but that's been changed. So that's why it was 9 o'clock originally, Spanish time, because for those of you who don't know, I'm here in Spain, in mainland Spain. It is 8:20 in the evening now. And I was going to do the live at 9. But then when I realised I was free to do the live, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do it, because I've got, as usual, so much to go through, so much to tell you about. You know, otherwise, sometimes if I start at 9, that can make it nearly 12 by the time I finish. And those of you who know me, you know I'm not a night person, really. I mean, I am. I like going out at night. But when I'm in the house, you know, I get tired. Oh, and last night I could not sleep. Honestly, all night I was just thinking about Jay. It was awful. I don't know how his mum is getting through this, because I don't even know Jay. And I just couldn't stop thinking about him being on that mountain. And I just hope, you know, whatever happened to him happened instantly. I absolutely hope that, because the thought of him lying there is, you know, and being terrified, and, you know, it's heartbreaking. So I couldn't sleep last night for that. So I'm a bit like a zombie today. So I'm going to go through some bits of things, of news, etc. with you today. The upshot of everything is, you know, Jay has, it's been confirmed by the autopsy that it is Jay, by the fingerprints. People are trying to put bloody conspiracy theories on that. How can they tell from fingerprints? But they, you know, when someone's decomposed, but they can. It's amazing what they can do. I was looking it up. They sort of reconstitute the fingers. I mean, it's incredible. It's a bit gruesome, but it's amazing what they can do, as long as there's any flesh there whatsoever. So anyway, they've identified him with his belongings and his fingerprints, etc. And they've also declared, if you like, the Spanish police, the Spanish forensic department, have decided that his injuries are consistent with a fall from a height, and they've, you know, released his body, and he will be on his way home soon. With, you know, his family will be taking him home. They're going on the same plane, I believe. Just can't imagine it, can you? I mean, it's heartbreaking to be taking your son home, basically in a body bag, you know, back to bury him in Lancashire. So yeah, it's very sad. It's very grim news. So what, I was going to say hello to you all first before I get going. I've got lots of things to talk to you about. They're not all depressing. Hopefully, you know, we'll have a little smile along the way as well. But yeah, after today, you know, I will be doing, if there's any news, obviously, if there's any coverage of Jay's funeral, or if his parents come out make any statements, I will do other videos about Jay. But I do feel that now, you know, this case is resolved. Jay's been found. Unfortunately, it's what I suspected from the beginning, that he's come to some unfortunate accident. It's not a good outcome, is it? But at least they've got him, and at least they can take him home. So, you know, that's good. But some of the things we're going to talk about tonight won't all be depressing. Hi, Claire. Hi, Mello. Hi, Jem. Hi, David. Hi, Katrine. Hi, Tina. Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Tina. Thank you for watching. Hi, Fragaria. Hi, Carla. Hi, the Toon Piper. I like that, Nick. It's good. Hi. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Moonbeam. Tom Tuggle, David. Tom's tugging on his tuggle, I think. Thomas Tuggle. Oh, dear. It is heartbreaking, Moonbeam, isn't it? Yes, let's hope the conspiracy theories stop. Well, I'm going to show you one TikToker who's taken all their things down. I didn't know anything about them, but anyway, I'm going to show you that. So, hi, Libel. No, I haven't heard of Michael Frisson. There's so many missing people, isn't there? All you know, British people missing in all different parts of the world. Hi again, Mello. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Nick. Don't you start barking. So the first thing, what's the first thing that, gosh, I don't know where to start. I think let me put, honestly, I've got so many things to tell you. I literally don't know where to start. But I think I'll start with what was said by the charity that have helped Jay's family. And what they've had to say, because this apparently this case has been traumatizing for Jay's family, and you can imagine. I mean, it has been even worse than the Nicola Bulley case, hasn't it? You know, for I think in the Nicola Bulley case, I think there was more reason to think that there was something strange. But I think in this case, well, to me, right from the beginning, I didn't think there was anything untoward about it. I didn't really understand why people were thinking that. But I was talking about with a student of mine this morning who's really followed this case as well, and he was saying, or we were saying, it's almost like a collective hysteria, isn't it? Because, you know, right from the beginning, I just felt that he'd just lost his way. Seemed obvious. I did think he might be found the first couple of days, and then when he wasn't found the first couple of days, you know, it was that sinking feeling that something's happened to him. But then, of course, all these conspiracy theories started to really gear up. And in the end, you get sucked into them, don't you? It's like a collective madness. Because, you know, when you've got somebody saying, oh, yeah, well, they're on a boat, you know, and there's a source tells us he's still alive, and there's this and there's that, and this part of you, even when you don't really believe it, you know, I've tried not to believe those, but there is a part of you inside that's thinking, well, is he on a boat, or how's that, you know, because just people are so convincing in the stupid things that they say, you know. And then, of course, you get YouTubers and TikTokers and Mark William Thomas and mainstream media. It's not all about the social media saying things so convincingly that people believe them, you know. And this reminds me a lot of the Nicola Bulley story, because I used to get a lot of emails, as I have with this, from people, oh, well, such and such said on such and such a channel, and they've got a source, they've got proof, and that. And in the end, you sort of end up thinking, oh, well, is that true? Is that true? And you're questioning your own sanity in the end, because you know really that there's no, you know, this, you know that it's not true, but you can't, there's a little part of you that thinks, oh, well, what if that is true? It's like collective madness. And of course, it's gone completely out of control in this case. And the disrespect, the hate, nastiness, people phoning up Jay's mum, asking, saying they've kidnapped him, just saying the most horrible things about Jay and the family. And the thing is, Jay wasn't perfect, was he? Of course he wasn't, but who is perfect? And all I ever thought right from the beginning is this could have been my son there. Could have been me years ago when I was young and daft. I'm just old and daft now, but it could be my son, my nephew, my, some relative of mine. So anyway, this charity, missing persons charity that's been helping out the family, they are saying that traumatizing comments from amateur sleuths need to be stopped, said the charity helping the family. And I think traumatizing comments have come from the mainstream media as well. Mark Williams Thomas, he's a prime example. Well, he's not mainstream media, but he's another example of someone who holds himself up to be respectable and trustworthy, but actually isn't. And they're still continuing as well. What's really galling is if you've only got to look through the Facebook posts, and sometimes I think, God, why am I even looking at these? But it's like going past a car accident, isn't it? When you shouldn't look, you just can't help it, because I just can't believe the things that people are saying. And it's so tempting, to say something, but I don't ever say anything when someone says something ridiculous. But I quite often report the post if they're saying something completely ridiculous. So this guy has said that traumatizing comments from amateur sleuths need to be stopped. And they do. How are they going to be stopped? And what else makes me angry is it does give YouTubers a bad name. People think all YouTubers are the same or all social media is the same. And it just is not. There's lots of social media that don't go down this path. Social media is always going to be a bit more sensationalist because it's just like someone chatting to you, isn't it? It's just when I'm sitting here chatting to you, like we could be sat in a bar chatting or something. It's not like a staged interview on the news or whatever. So it's always going to be a little bit more informal, a little bit, it is a place where you should be able to talk about your theories, but you can still talk about theories with respect. It's not disrespectful to say, oh, the Sun newspaper has said Jay might be on a boat. Do you think he could be on a boat? That's not disrespectful. What's disrespectful is to totally make things up or to, say nasty things that quite clearly aren't true. So how are they going to deal with these kind of things? Because, you just think if that was your family, if that was you, imagine, how that would be, that not only your son's disappeared, but likely to be dead. But you experiencing all this hate as well. I just, I just don't see how they can bear it. Well, how they bore it was they just turned off all their social media. That's what they had to do. So this Matthew Searle has told Sky News that his organisation is planning to speak to Home Secretary Yvette Cooper about how to tackle the damaging and traumatising conduct. I don't know how they're going to do it. I literally do not know how they're going to do it. Let's just have a look at the video.
A body has been found after a month-long search for the British teenager Jay Slater.
But there's still lots of unanswered questions. Here's what we know and what we don't know about the disappearance.
On Sunday, the 16th of June, Jay Slater attended the Energy Music Festival here in South Tenerife. After the festival, he travelled to the hilltop village of Masca with two people he'd met earlier on his holiday.
This is the last place that Jay was seen at around 8 a.m. on Monday, June the 17th. He spoke to a local woman, Ophelia Medina Hernandez. She told him that the bus that would take him back towards his accommodation would be due at 10 a.m. Instead, he decided to walk. It was a journey that, if he'd completed it on foot, would have taken 11 hours.
He started walking to Los Cristianos. At 8:15 a.m., he spoke to his friend on the phone, saying he was lost and only had 1% battery.
At 8:50 a.m., his phone revealed his last known location, the rural Deteno Park, a mountainous area popular with hikers. At 9:04, he's reported missing to the police.
This started weeks of searching and also speculation. His family flew here to Tenerife, and the Civil Guard began a huge search.
Back home, the story started to gain traction on social media.
I heard on the internet that they needed help. I was following the story.
Wild speculation and fake news was spread online. Influencers joined the search. A GoFundMe page for Jay's search party raised more and more money.
And then, on Monday, July the 15th, after weeks of searching, the news that Jay Slater's family had dreaded.
The Civil Guard released a statement saying they'd found human remains in the Masca area, close to the last known location of the teenager's phone. It brought to an end weeks of rampant speculation and media attention on the island.
It is possible that we'll never know exactly what happened to Jay.
In his final phone call to his friend, he reportedly told her he was bleeding and needed water. Another friend told Good Morning Britain that he video called Jay after that phone call, and he saw him fall down a hill slightly.
A police statement said that from the evidence they have, it is possible that he suffered an accident or a fall in the inaccessible zone.
There's also confusion over why he decided to take that mammoth 11-hour walk and why it took so long to find his body. But what we do know is that he leaves behind a grieving family, a family who have been suddenly thrown into the national spotlight.
Well, there you go. Well, I don't think that it's mysterious that it took so long to find his body, to be honest, at all. But I know there's the questions of why he went to the Airbnb, how did he end up in that bit. Anyway, the other search team that the parents had paid for, hadn't they, out of the GoFundMe, was on the had come out, hadn't they, from the Netherlands. Apparently, they're going to put together they're still there and they're going to put together the route that Jay took. So we're going to have a look at what they've got to say about it all in a minute as well. So yeah, I don't think it's strange that it took so long to find him at all, because he was in a very inaccessible part. You could see, like when they showed the video of the part where he was, if he's fallen down, I always thought that would have been what would have happened. He'd have fallen down a crevice or a ravine or whatever, and eventually would be found, but it would just take some finding. So apparently it was a dog that first alerted to him being there. And somebody was just asking in the chat there, I think it was Katrine, but I mentioned about the fingerprints early. Fingerprints can be taken for a long time. If you Google that, how long fingerprints can be taken for, they can be taken for quite a long time, because they reconstitute the fingers. I mean, it's a bit grim, but they can do it as long as there is some tissue still left on the bone. If it's completely skeletized, they can't do it. But if there's some tissue left on the bone, yes, they can get fingerprints. And, I don't know, obviously, I don't know what state Jay would have been in. It wouldn't have been very nice, I would expect. But up there on the mountain, what you've got to remember as well is that depending on where he was in the crevice, was he protected from the elements? We just don't know. Thing is, if the Spanish forensic people have said they've identified by his fingerprints, they've identified him by his fingerprints. They haven't said that, and it's not true. It's true. So, it's Jay, and not only his fingerprints, but of course his belongings. So Jay Slater case attracted the most vitriolic and hateful comments from amateur sleuths. Oh, see, this is it. Everyone will get banded on that now. As soon as you say you're an armchair detective or a, what do they call them, citizen sleuths or whatever, people are going to be like, oh God, because, so this is it. These sort of people, they give other people a bad name. And, also they mislead their viewers. Just some of them do it. We all want clicks. Nobody has a YouTube channel doesn't want clicks. Of course you want clicks. That's your raison d'etre, isn't it? What, you're not doing a YouTube channel hoping that nobody watches you. But the thing is, you've still got to be responsible. If you can have a sort of attention grabbing headline, if you like, but in the content of your video, you've got to be responsible, and you've got to be, what's the word? You can't be just saying things with no proof whatsoever. You just can't, because then people take that and they say it's somebody else online. They say it's someone else, and it's, oh, such and such said this, and oh yeah, they're a reputable source. And they're not reputable sources. Even, one's Mark Williams Thomas, he never came out with anything that everybody didn't know already. So you've got the police, the Spanish police don't talk about anything. Nobody had any information, probably not even the family. The family will have had the most information, but they won't have even had all the information, because that's the way the Spanish police operate. And they're not going to change for the British. It's like just anyway, but they are very effective. They get on with their job. They just get on with it. They don't make a big fuss about it. They don't do press conferences. It's not only in this case of Jay Slater, it's other cases that I've covered. Anna Knezevich, my regular chatters, they will know. She disappeared in Madrid. There was nothing, no news for ages and ages. And I was in touch with one of her friends, her best friend, and she was frustrated because she said the police aren't telling us anything, nor the family, or they're not telling the family anything. It was completely secret. And then boom, suddenly her sort of alleged murderer was arrested. And then it came out, all this CCTV that they had, and all the information that they had that they'd just not been revealing. And it just all came out at once after months of silence. That is what they do. And they're good at what they do, but they do it secretly. That's just what they do. They don't like to compromise any case. I mean, there is no case here because they're saying that there is no foul play here. But imagine if there would have been, if they had found Jay and his head was bashed in by a baseball bat, or, he was shot, and the police had compromised that case. So, they won't compromise any case. So the Jay Slater case attracted the most vitriolic and hateful comments from amateur sleuths, and such online behaviour needs to be stopped, said the head of a charity helping the family, Matthew Searle, the chief executive of LBT Global. So they help people, missing people, all families of missing people all over the world. And he has told Sky News that his organisation is planning to talk to Home Secretary Yvette Cooper in the coming weeks about how to tackle the damaging and traumatising conduct. I mean, it must have been traumatising. It just must have been the most awful thing. He said the comments were the worst he had ever seen in more than 20 years in the job. The British Overseas Missing Persons charity started helping Mr. Slater's family about 12 days into his disappearance, including dealing with the huge amount of armchair detectives, so-called experts, think he means maybe Mark Williams Thomas there, and the vile comments, with speculation rife online about what happened to him. The teenager's remains were found by rescue workers in Tenerife on Monday, about a month after he went missing, on the 17th of June on the Spanish island, as he embarked on an 11-hour walk. So the 19-year-old's multiple injuries were consistent with an accidental fall in a rocky area, a crowd confirmed. Only on Sunday, the apprentice bricklayer's mother, Debbie Duncan, felt compelled to speak of awful comments and theories filling social media. Within days of his disappearance, a number of Facebook groups dedicated to the case had been set up. Now, there are loads of Facebook groups. Lots of people on the Facebook groups are on there saying nice things, encouraging things, hoping that he's found safe. Thing is, probably, I don't know if it's about 50-50. I wouldn't say there's a majority of people saying horrible things. But the trouble is, they're the things you remember. I know that from being on social media. You can get a million nice comments and then somebody makes a horrible comment to you and you remember that one, because they are hurtful. I mean, they're not as hurtful now. They don't get to me now like they did in the beginning. I've learned that. What I've learned about being on social media and doing YouTube is you've got to have a thick skin. But what you've got to remember is Debbie Duncan, she's not a YouTuber. She's a mother whose son is missing. She's not a YouTuber who's got to take the flak, the good with the bad. She's a mother and her 19-year-old son is missing, probably dead. She shouldn't have to take that flak. And even with Jay's past of what he'd done when he was 16, she didn't do anything. People don't know. People were accusing her of being Shannon Matthews' mum's stepsister. I mean, it was ridiculous, the things they were saying. Absolutely over the top. Anyway, many members of the groups use them to engage in serious discussion about the teenager's possible fate, or simply to express sympathy for him, his family and his friends. Let's have a look at this video. Hello to everyone who's coming in.
A body has been found after a month-long search for the British teenager Jay Slater.
But there's still lots of unanswered questions. Here's what we know and what we don't know about the disappearance.
Exactly the same video that we just watched.
On Sunday the 6th.
To watch it again. However, the story also prompted a succession of wild theories, often based on substantiated rumour. Do you remember the yachts? He's on a yacht. He was sat watching the Euros. He was everywhere, wasn't he, Jay Slater, according to all these idiots. Fabricated screenshots or online messages. Yeah, even fabricated messages and things like that, just what people have got nothing better to do. They must all be on the dole or something. Have they just sat around, have they got all that time to make up things? And why would they want to do it? And two, where do they get the time to do it? So in some cases, they fake videos purporting to show Mr. Slater or what had happened to him. I don't know if any of you saw that picture. I don't think I showed it on my channel, of some young lad, with a dog collar on and looking like he'd been hit in the face or whatever, and they were saying it was Jay. Just awful. Do you imagine, as a mother, if you were seeing that about your son? People making jokes about cactuses as if it's funny that he fell over on a cactus or whatever. It's not funny. Some things just aren't funny. So, fake videos purporting to show Mr. Slater or what happened to him. And speaking to Sky's Matt Barber on the UK Tonight, Mr. Searle said, what people saw online when they looked up the case was vile stuff that's utterly baseless, around 100%, almost 100% of the time, he says. Oh my God. And it took practitioners like him a huge amount of time to try and get rid of it. He said in the past week his charity had received hundreds of emails from people claiming they knew where Mr. Slater was, leads which he and the others had to follow up. So that's it. So these bloody fools sending emails I'm not talking about genuine people. I'm talking about, you know, the ones that aren't genuine. They're just wasting his time. So ultimately, it hinders the search, and it's terrifyingly horrible for a family that are going through this, Mr. Searle added. So this is him, the chief executive of LBT Global. He also warned that in the age of social media, wherever there's a real life drama, a crime drama acting out in front of our eyes on television, half the population need to jump on Facebook, set up a Facebook group to tell the world what really happened. It just goes on, and it gets a huge amount of traction. And it's really worrying, to the point where our charity thinks it's time it has to stop. So he's going to go to Yvette Cooper and try and get her to do something about it. But so Mr. Searle said his charity is now looking at bringing Mr. Slater's body home, dealing with the massive paperwork, translations, logistics, and making what is just the worst time for them as easy as possible. Meanwhile, the teenager's mother has paid tribute to her beautiful boy, and in a statement, she said, "I just cannot believe this could happen to my beautiful boy. Our hearts are broken." I bet they are. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. So this is, you know, it's going to be talked about. You know, the trouble is the people that do say the horrible things and make things up, they're going to spoil it for everybody, because then the whole of, you know, what they're going to, maybe they'll turn around, and YouTube is already really careful about what goes on it. You know, is in the end, we're not going to be able to say anything, are we? So then I wanted to show, this student of mine who's been taking an interest in this case, he was telling me about this TikToker, Comet Crime, Haley Comet, and all the videos have disappeared now. She had a lot of followers on Instagram and on TikTok. But when you try, I've never watched her, I don't know anything about her, but apparently she was coming out with all sorts of rubbish, you know, unverified rubbish. So it's all gone. So when you go on Instagram, hang on, yeah, you just get this page isn't available. And the same on TikTok. Couldn't find this account, but she's got thousands, or she had thousands and thousands of followers. But do you think she's taken her account down because she's embarrassed? She should be bloody embarrassed. Apparently she said he was being held on a boat somewhere or something. I don't know what exactly she said, because I've never watched any of her videos, so I haven't got a clue. But it seems funny that everything's disappeared now, apparently. So it was obviously a load of rubbish. So her Instagram's disappeared, her TikTok's disappeared. Did you know what I was thinking about? And I thought, I'd rather just stay a little small, intimate channel forever than, you know, compromise. You know, just literally, I could tomorrow, every day you could go on, you could just put a headline, or I don't know, Jay found alive in Australia, or Nicola Bully turns up in Timbuktu. You could put anything like that, and people will watch it. People will believe it. You know, some people seem to quite enjoy that conspiracy type theory. Like some people are looking for it. They're not even doubtful of it. You know, the amount of emails I used to get about Nicola Bully, about other YouTube channels that are not even here anymore, not even still on YouTube. Oh, such and such said this happened, and watch this video, and oh yeah, you know, it's definitely true. And as much as don't get wrong, don't stop sending me information. I like receiving those things, but just think about what you say. All I would say to anyone, I mean, I know all of you watch my channel, you watch other channels, of course you do. Just you know, I watch other channels sometimes, not very often, because I just can't be doing with it a lot of the time. Depends on the channel, but just be aware that it might not be true. Might not be true. If they're saying it's true and they haven't got any evidence, just ask them for the evidence. That's all. We need the evidence, don't we? It's like Peter Folding, like anything. Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence. I'll believe it. If you can't show me the evidence, sorry, I don't believe it. So yeah, Halley Comet has gone, apparently. You know, I don't know if any of you watched her. Maybe you liked her. You know, maybe you thought she was great. But anyway, she's gone. I don't know if she was great or not, because I never watched her. But okay, so where we're going to go next is we're going to have a look at the GoFundMe, because of course everybody's interested in the GoFundMe. Personally, I am glad that they've got this GoFundMe now. As you know, I'm not a believer in GoFundMes because they always cause problems. People seem to think, you know, they have a right to tell people what they should do with the money that they have raised, but it's a lot now. I mean, it's nearly £60,000. But, you know, if I said to you, okay, I'll give you £60,000, but you have to give up one of your children, what would you say? You know, somebody said to me, as much as he drives me mad at times, you know, about my son, oh, you know, you've got to, we'll give you £60,000 tomorrow, but oh, just a small thing, you know, you'll never see your son again. Well, what are you going to choose? So she needs that money. The family need that money for the funeral, for whatever they need it for. And you know what? I hope after they have the funeral and all that, I hope they go on holiday, not to Tenerife, obviously. Definitely not Tenerife. But, you know, yeah, treat yourself. They'll need something. They'll need, after what they've just been through for the last month and what they've got to face when they get back to Oswald Twistle, they'll need a break. You know, they will. There's nothing wrong with looking after you sometimes when you've been through trauma. There's nothing wrong with doing something for yourself. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, she's got another son who's lost his brother. She's got to think about him. She's got, you know, I just don't understand why people think. Anyway, never mind. So that's where we are. She hasn't updated. Yeah. Oh, she hasn't updated on the GoFundMe. She hasn't made any comment on the GoFundMe. So it's increased quite a bit since Jay was found. Probably a lot of people feeling a bit guilty about all the horrible things they were saying. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. Now, talking of conspiracy theories, let's have a look at what Mark Williams Thomas has said. So he's off to London. Mark Williams, now what's he going to do with this documentary that's coming up? What's he going to do about the documentary that's coming up? She's moving house. Oh. Sorry. Now, please don't give any information on here that has not been verified and is true, please, everyone. And all be good to each other and nice to each other. I know you will be. But please don't put information on my chat that has got no, you know, that you can't prove just because somebody said it, unless the family said it or, you know, somebody official said it. It's not true in my eyes. Okay, so yeah, supposedly the documentary will be out soon, isn't it? Next week. Mark Williams Thomas was making a documentary. What will he do about that, I wonder? So he had an early start. He had an early start up to London. And he says, I will do a video over the next few days just to deal with some of the ongoing conspiracy theories and inaccuracies. So now, is he going to mention the Rolex watch? No, but The police haven't mentioned anything about Rolex watch or any kind of watch. Was that all a load of rubbish as well? My thoughts remain with Debbie, Warren, Zach and Jay's friends. Yeah, he always says that, doesn't he? At the end, he's a liar, because his thoughts will always just remain in what can he get out of it. What's in it for him? That's all that ever matters to Mark Williams Thomas. So we'll wait for that video. I look forward to that video, Mark. It'd be interesting to see, you know, what's that all about, and why are you going to London to make the video? Are you going to go? He's probably going to change the documentary. They filmed that documentary, didn't they, before, you know, 2 weeks ago, and now Jay's been found. He's probably going to update it now and take out some of the things that it said or whatever, I would imagine. So it'd be interesting to see what he finally comes up with. We'll see. Okay, right, now we're going to look at what we're going to look at now. So now we're going to look at the Facebook of the other search team, the Netherlands search team. Jim, behave. Behave. Now we're going to look at the other search team, their Facebook page. So remember, with the GoFundMe money, they had got this Signe Zokonden to go over from Holland. So let's see where it started. So they go all over the world. They're a little bit like SGI, aren't they? But bigger, I think, and they're a non-profit organisation, and they go searching for earthquake victims with their dogs, etc. So 3 days ago, landed in Tenerife today, Signe search dogs will look for the missing 19-year-old Jay. And then 2 days ago, so literally they landed on Sunday, I think, and Jay was found, or the police. I mean, I wonder if maybe the police found Jay earlier. I don't think they did find him earlier, but you know, they were searching one part. The Dutch team was searching one part, and while they were searching one area, the police dog, the Guardia Civil dogs, picked up something in another area, apparently. So this is what they say anyway. Today, Jay's body was found in Tenerife by a Spanish search team. Signe search dogs started searching early this morning to get ahead of the heat, and they started at the last telephone signal. The dogs grabbed at the trail well and exchanged. The initial indications were hopeful. The circumstances were fierce. During the afternoon, rest was taken for the dogs to continue their search later in the day. And then the news came quite quickly that the Spanish rescue team, lower in the area, had found a body that's supposedly Jay. Signe search dogs wishes the family a lot of strength with this great sadness. Now, I believe they're still there, and I thought there's not. Oh, what's this? Yeah. So 22 hours ago, I think this is their last post on Facebook. Jay Slater has been found. Many questions remain for the family. Signe hounds are using the remaining time in Tenerife to answer some of the questions. So yeah, I believe they're trying to plan the route. The route and final location are revisited and illustrated so that Jay's final journey can always be seen. The national drone team supports Signe from the air, and Signe is experiencing this intense sadness. So I think they're going to make some sort of a map so that people can see the route that they think Jay took. I mean, I always thought right from the beginning, I could just imagine Jay looking at that thinking, oh, I just cut over there and go down. That's the sort of thing that people think, especially 19-year-old lads who've been at a rave for 3 days and they just want to get back to their apartment. But because he couldn't be bothered waiting for the bus, he probably didn't he just didn't realise how difficult it would be, I suppose. So that's one thing I wanted to show you. Where am I going now? Oh, so there's been a memorial service over in there's been a memorial service over in Oswald Twistle. God, it's a mouthful, isn't it? So there was a balloon release. Well, I'm not a lover of balloon releases because, of course, not really environmentally friendly, is it? So I'm not a lover of balloon releases, but anyway, what's to me, I suppose, tell them what to do. It's not legal, is it?
Netflix Prime y Max. Llama gratis al 1706. Pepefon.
So they had a service. They had a service and released the balloons, Forever 19 balloons, blue balloons.
La primera norma de todo piso de estudiantes es que se comparten los apuntes y la fibra. Ahora en Simio tienes fibra desde 25,99 y la instalación gratuita. Así sí, Simio.
Yeah. So yeah, not good really, all those balloons, I don't think. Not for the environment, not for birds and things, but there you go. See, it's all grey, that's what it's normally like in Lancashire. So they had the memorial service anyway, didn't they, there? The skies, oh, I've unshared it. I need to go back on it. The skies were filled with blue balloons as the community came together to pay their respects to Jay Slater. A memorial service was held at West End Methodist Church in Oswald Twistle, Lancashire, on the day that Spanish police confirmed that a body found in Tenerife was identified as Jay. And and then it's going to go through the story. We won't go through the whole story again. So the service, held just around the corner from Jay's home, was packed with similarly aged youngsters who struggled to hold in the tears as a photo of the 19-year-old looked down from screens inside the church. Several people attended who did not know Jay but had simply gone along to show their respects. Yeah, people like going to these vigil types things, don't they? You know, because I think when something like this happens, you know, whatever the circumstances of Jay, or, you know, people saying, oh, because of his past, does that mean that he deserved to die on a mountain then because he got involved in a group? It wasn't him who wielded the machete, got involved in a group. Even the guy that was attacked said, give the family a break. You know, I just don't understand people bringing that up and saying as if he deserved to die on that mountain because of something he did when he was 16. Just, you know, people's motives just beyond me, to be honest. Okay, so what we're looking at next. So Jay's family have left tributes. His mum, his dad, his brother, they've left flowers at the scene. I don't know if it's the exact scene where his body was found, but they have left flowers, etc., and some notes there. I don't know if this is exactly where he was found or not. So to my beautiful boy, I'm so sorry we never found you. I miss you so much. You'll be forever young and forever missed. Love you so much, Mum. Love you, little brother. Never in a million years did I think I'd be doing this. I'll look after Mum and Dad. Oh, that's going to make me cry. I'll look after Mum and Dad. Hope you're partying. I hope you're partying up there. with Grandad. I hope to see you again someday. Rest easy, brother. I love you. So that's his brother. And this is from his dad. To my boy, love, Dad. Oh, don't know what that says at the side there. But I just can't imagine how they must feel. Honestly, just cannot imagine. There you go. Gosh. Okay, where am I going now? Where am I going now? I think we need a bit of lightness now, maybe. So you know what will make us laugh, don't you? Or give us a smile. I'm going to go to our mate. We're going to go. We're going to go to our mate Paul Arnott and have a look what he's been up to. So he's already left Tenerife. He's gone off somewhere else. You know, with his usual sort of aplomb. Let's go back to his foot. Oh gosh, there he goes in the air there. Oh, he's off to Sardinia. So God, he doesn't stay still for a minute, does he? So let's see. We put this. What's his first video he put on this morning? Yeah, so his first video that he put on this morning is leaving Tenerife.
And I'm just so happy that the family now have some closure. That is so guys, this is probably going to be my last video for a while now regarding Jay Slater. Now it has been a crazy month, it really has, and I'm just so happy that the family now have some closure. That is that's the main thing, guys. You know, there's a lot that I want to say, there really is, but now is not the time. Now's not the time. Now this week I really want.
It's never the time, is it, for Paul? Now's not the time. There's a lot he wants to say, but now's not the time. He's always saying things like that, isn't he? Everything that he wants to do, he doesn't do. He always says, I really wanted to do this, or I really wanted to do that, but he never does it. He's empty. Honestly, I've quite enjoyed his videos. I'm going to miss him.
To spend some time with the family. We were going to meet up earlier on, but a few things happened in the evening. Not only that, Jay has like a little kind of like remembrance section up there in the mountains, guys. I really wanted to go up there, spend some time.
Yeah, he really wanted to go up there and spend some time, but he didn't.
And just say goodbye to Jay. And it's really, really important to me that I do that. However, something has.
It's really, really important to me that I do that. But however, he's not going to do that.
I'm up. And I'm not going to talk about it just yet. I'm going to talk about it very soon, but not just yet.
So you're not. It's another thing. He's not talking about it just yet, but he's going to talk about it very soon.
But I need to get out of Tenerife, guys. I really need to get out of Tenerife.
How suddenly he really needs to get out of Tenerife. He's only just moved into this Airbnb that he's in now. Because, of course, he was staying with Pedro, wasn't he? And then don't know what happened there. But Pedro initially said he could stay there. Then he said he couldn't. Then he was banging on the door trying to get him out of there. So he moved to this Airbnb. But now he's got to go. He's leaving this now. He's off. He's got to get out of Tenerife. Honestly, I don't know why.
The time now is 2:45 in the morning. I think
2:45 in the morning. That's probably why he's got to get out of Tenerife. Probably all his neighbours are complaining. So what's he doing standing in front of the shower with his clothes on? It doesn't look like he's having a shower, but he's. It looks like he's going somewhere, doesn't he? Or maybe he's going for a night out. Who knows? But he's got to get out of Tenerife at 3:15 in the morning.
There's a bus that pulls up like outside about 6 in the morning, guys. But I need to jump on that bus, get straight to the airport and catch a flight. So yeah, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy, guys. It's just complete madness, guys. It's going to be crazy. Now, the first thing he needs to do when he gets out of Tenerife, I mean, honestly, and I mean this seriously, he needs some food. He needs some food. Look at his arms. you know, you're not looking after yourself. Has he even been eating? He's been walking up and down that mountain. He's not stopped moving, has he? He never stops moving. And he doesn't seem to eat very much. Seems to be living off milkshakes and Cheetos or something. He needs to eat some proper food. That's what you need to do, Paul. Get some food down here.
I will keep you guys updated with everything. Again, it's going to be another day with absolutely no sleep. I feel sick from where I just need to sleep, guys. But I will keep you updated. So much love to every single person who has been positive.
You know, maybe he has got some ADHD or something, because he never seems to stop for a moment, does he? You know, it's like he can't. So instead of thinking, oh, well, I'll go, he didn't book a flight. He never books a flight. He just goes to the airport. You know, and they're expensive if you just go to the airport. So instead of sitting down, maybe having a nice chill day, get a bit of raise, you know, and book his flight for the next day. No, he's got to get to the airport. He's got to get to the airport and just get a flight at the airport, which probably costs him about 4 times as much as it would if he booked it. You know, it's maybe that's part of his online persona, just making it all look really exciting. I don't know, but
everyone who supported me, everyone who supported the family throughout this whole thing, guys, so much love. Yeah, so much love, guys. I cannot thank you guys enough. You have no idea the difference you guys have made. You have no idea. But I will catch up with you guys soon.
So it made it sound like he wasn't going to do a video for ages, but I don't know. Well, let's see what his next one is. Does he do one on the bus? Because he quite likes doing videos on the bus, doesn't he? And this is little bus reports. Oh, he's at the airport.
8 in the morning. I've had no sleep. I've been on 2 buses.
Oh, he's been on 2 buses. So he's at the airport. It's completely crazy, guys. He's had no sleep. He's been on 2 buses. 2 buses this morning.
I am absolutely shattered. So I've just got to the airport. I wasn't too sure what time I'd actually arrive, because me and the buses out here in Tenerife, we don't always get along. No. I tend to miss the buses all the time, guys. But what I've done is I've managed to get a plane ticket, not 1 plane ticket, but 2 plane tickets.
Oh, he has booked a ticket.
And the first plane ticket is this afternoon, guys. It's just this afternoon. So the plan basically is I have been going through my inbox on social media. I haven't been checking my inboxes recently because there have just been so many notifications. It's been absolutely crazy, guys. And I've had loads and loads of inboxes.
It's just been crazy, guys. I know how you feel. I mean, I bet I don't get anywhere near him as the amount of messages and emails that he gets. But, you know, it does take a lot of time. I mean, I haven't been keeping up with him the past couple of days, to be honest. So if you sent me an email and I haven't replied, sorry, and it's not being just, it's just been crazy, guys. It's been crazy. It's absolute madness. But, you know, I do try to get back to people eventually, but I can't, you know, anyway. But don't think I'm ignoring you. Don't ignore people. Just sometimes, you know, with one thing and another, I can't get around to it. But and like him, it's crazy, guys, crazy.
About a situation that I had no idea about. I had absolutely no idea. But there is a lad who has been missing since Saturday in Sardinia, guys. And the mum has said about looking for help. And the authorities out there have said that the environment is just absolutely vast. It's a huge, huge environment, guys. So that is what I'm doing. I'm gonna fly out to Sardinia, and I'm gonna go see if I can help now. I'm not like people have described people from social media in the past, guys, as TikTok detectives. That's not what this is at all.
Yeah, he keeps saying he's not a TikTok detective, but I think he might end up going all around the world. You know, like, so he'd be searching for Samantha Murphy next in Ballarat. You know, he's like, all right, yeah, you should come to mainland Spain, Paul, and help us search for Anna Knezovic. But, you know, I mean, he's doing something. I suppose it's you know, I suppose he could be sitting at home on an armchair detective like me. I don't know. But yeah, I think, you know, I genuinely think his heart's in the right place. But this is what he does. You know, this is what he does. He's got to do something, hasn't he? He seems to enjoy it. Though I do worry about him because he definitely needs a good meal. He should have had a bloody paella while he was in Tenerife.
It's just about being an extra pair of eyes and just helping out where I can. So yeah, I don't really expect too many people to have actually heard about this. It's got absolutely zero media coverage. It seems like the news are just not interested whatsoever. No one is reporting on it. So hopefully this will bring a little bit more exposure, and maybe more people can get involved if they can't.
No, that's a good thing. It's always good to, because it's funny, isn't it, how some cases like Jay's attracted so much attention. Now, he could go and maybe look for Jack O'Sullivan in Bristol. But, you know, he likes jetting around. So he's going to go to another country that he doesn't speak the language and he doesn't understand the culture. Because he has made me chuckle the way he's sort of, he's just not prepared. Like, you know, if you don't know Spain and the culture of Spain and the buses and, you know, just the way things are in Spain, like the Guardia Civil, etc., you know, go and try and treat the Guardia Civil like they're British police. You know, it just doesn't work. But he's off to another country that's probably quite similar to Italy. I expect it's even worse there. I don't know how he's going to get on with the authorities there.
Competent guys, but off to Sardinia. Let's do this.
So he's off to Sardinia. Where's his next? He's definitely, he didn't even have a day off, did he? You know, a day of relaxation. So he's in Rome on this picture. Where is he now? Oh yeah, he's on the plane, flying in. Few hours in Rome before flying down to the island of Sardinia. And that's his last post, so he's not there yet. He's probably waiting for a bus. Because I expect the buses in Sardinia are just as bad as the buses in Tenerife. But, you know, he does always bring a smile to my face, Paul. So thank you for that, Paul, because sometimes you need a little bit of a smile. Now, I want to show you this. So, do you know, talking of people going missing in Spain and how long it takes to find people and blah, 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 I think the Guardia Civil must be sick of tourists going missing. I mean, of course, there was Jay that they've been looking for, and then there was another an older guy that they got off the Alps, didn't they, last week? We had a look at that. And now there's been another one. So the department of the Guardia Civil that deals with mountain rescue is called Graham. And they've got like the, you know, as I say, sort of all these British stupid programs like Talk TV and what's the other one? GB News. You know, oh, well, the Spanish police this and the Spanish police that. You know, the Spanish police, they know exactly what they're doing, thank you. And they've just found somebody else yesterday who was up in the Alps, because, you know, sorry, not the Alps, the Pyrenees, just rubbish with geography. The Pyrenees, part of the Pyrenees are Spanish and part of them are French. And they found an 83-year-old French guy dead up on the mountain. What's he doing going hiking up a mountain at 83 years old? You know, sorry, but it's just like, you're just asking for trouble, really, aren't you, at 83? But anyway, he's probably been hiking all his life, and I don't know. So what they're saying here, lamentum, God, I can't even say that word, it's too long. Sadly, it means. can't say it, but it means sadly. Yesterday, the aerial team and the mountain rescue, together with doctors, rescued or recovered, I think you'd say, not rescued, because they found a body without life, if you like. So they found a dead body of a Frenchman of 83 years old who had fallen down a rocky zone. So similar thing on the glacier in Arnott. Let's just have a look at the video. So this is the terrain that they had to find this bloody 83-year-old French guy. I think he's in that body bag. What was he doing? I mean, honestly, I just don't understand why people do this. And the thing is, when people do that, it means that these people have to go out and put their lives at risk as well, finding them. So it feels like at least once a week they have to go and rescue or recover a body of some tourist or another. You know, it's like so apparently that place, where is it? Let's see. It is the highest mountain in the Pyrenees. So that'll be the challenge, I suppose, for a hiker. You know, that'll be why they'd want to go up there. The highest mountain in the Pyrenees, and it's in Aragon. Oh, the highest mountain in the Pyrenees and in Aragon, and it's Spain's third highest mountain, reaching a height of 3,404 meters, and it stands in the Spanish province of Huesca, the northernmost of the three Aragonese provinces, 6 kilometers south of the France and Spain border. And this is it. This is the mountain. So the guy had decided he wanted to climb that mountain. He's fallen down I don't know, you know, he's obviously gone missing. Someone's reported him missing, and the mountain rescue have gone out and found him deceased. So rest in peace. Ah, dear me. So, yeah, I think it's every 5 minutes the poor Spanish police are trying to rescue some tourist who's tried to climb a mountain. I mean, of course, with Jay, it was different. He wasn't trying to climb a mountain, of course. He was trying to get back to his apartment, and he just, you know, overestimated himself. Anyway, I had a look at the Spanish news. And really, they're saying more or less the same as the British news. You know, the body that was found in Tenerife is Jay Slater. It's been all over the Spanish news. It's been a big story. Let's have a look at this video. But it's more or less the same as the British video. I shall go back to the beginning, and then I can tell you what they're saying. I'm putting the sound down because it's music, and that always gets picked up for copyright. So it's been confirmed that the body found in Tenerife is of Jay Slater, and that he died because of a fall. So this is where he fell down. You know, so you can see that it's very steep. Bless him. Now, I don't think this is actually him being lifted up here. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. It doesn't say it is, but it doesn't say it isn't. Anyway, the information has been facilitated this Tuesday by the Superior Tribunal of Justice of the Canary Islands. So the young boy disappeared on the 17th of June. And his body was found after 29 days of investigation, agony, and rumours. Yeah, so it's more or less they're, basically just saying the same as the British news. There was nothing different on the Spanish news that we haven't seen on the British news. It's just that it's been identified by his fingerprints and, of course, the things that were around him. And now they've released his body. Riley, stop it. They've released his body. They can take the body home. Now, there's every possibility that when he arrives back in Lancashire, they may have a second post-mortem. And, of course, if they do, who's the coroner that will be doing that? It'll be Mr. Aidley, won't it, who dealt with Nicola Bulley's case. So I don't know whether that's a choice of the parents, whether they decide whether they want another one or whether it's a legal issue that there has to be another. I don't know what the details are there. But anyway, as far as the post-mortem's concerned in Spain, they've determined it's him to their satisfaction, and they have said his injuries are compatible with a fall, down a rocky, there's no foul play, according to what they say. So now I think I've more or less working my way through everything. Have I got anything else to show you? That's a Spanish article, but it's just the same as the articles that we've been looking at. No, so more or less that's where we are. That's where we are. It's Jay will be brought home. Apparently he's going to be travelling back with his parents in the same aeroplane. Gosh, I just can't get my head around it. I just cannot get my head around it. Bringing your son home, having to go out there and go through all that. And then, having to bring him home in a body bag. I just can't believe it, to be honest. Right, I'm going to have a look through the chat a little bit now, because sorry, there's quite sorry, I'm going to start reading the chat and I'd start laughing at what people are saying or whatever. But listen, hello to everyone. I haven't managed to say hello to everyone. Sorry about that, but there's quite a lot of you in here. Now then, as I said, I don't think I'm going to do loads more videos about Jay Slater, because there's nothing more to say. It's been, we followed the case. We followed it from the very first day that he went missing, because it immediately attracted my attention because of him being, one, from Lancashire, and two, because it was in Spain, obviously. Even though I'm on mainland Spain and not in Tenerife, it sort of struck a bell. And I really, honest, if you go back and watch my very first video that I did about Jay Slater, I was so optimistic that he would get found within a couple of days. I really thought he'd just gone the wrong way. He'd be somewhere sort of like being scared, but they would find him. He'd got lost. I really believed that. The first, probably, I think the story happened on the Monday, didn't it? The story broke. Let me have a look at what the video was. The first video that did about Jay. I was just, really thought he would be caught. I did not think in the beginning that it would end in such a tragedy, but of course it did. But God, I've done that many videos, I don't even know if I'll be able to find it, to be honest, but let's see. Let's see. Of course, they're not in order or anything, so that doesn't help. No, I don't think I can find the very first video that I did. Oh yeah, I've got 8 days missing, 7 days missing. Yeah, some of them I haven't put on the playlist. Let's have a look. I need to sort that playlist out and put it in order. Because so in the future, if anybody wants to sort of know about the story, oh no, it's coming up all different things here on different people's videos. Let's see if I can. So yeah, what I did think in the beginning would probably be, you know, a case of that he would be found and he would be fine. He would just be lost and maybe injured, or you know, and obviously scared, etc. But I really did think in the first few days he would be found. I remember there was the false sighting in the taxi as well. So there was lots of problems. Oh, 3 weeks ago. I remember when they found that other British person while they were searching as well. Yeah, this is it, I think, the first one. Let's have a look. I'm going to share this. I just want to remind myself what I thought in the beginning. I think this is the first one. I've been to Tenerife on holiday. It's a very popular holiday destination, isn't it? Where is Jay? Now, the reason I had to come on and do this live about Jay, apart from the fact he's a missing young person who deserves, you know, this attention. But apart from that, because we've been covering a lot of these cases, haven't we, of tourists who've got lost you know, while they're on holiday, got lost, gone off the track, got it. Yeah, that's why, isn't it? Because we've been covering about Michael Mosley. And then, of course, the thing is that these news items, they do come in batches, because what I think mainstream media does is, like a case like this, so they'll put a news item up on their you know, on their website or on their news thing like Sky News or BBC or any of the, and then they see how many clicks they get on it, don't they? So if they find that a lot of people are clicking into a particular story, then they run with that story, don't they? I mean, there's lots of stories that they'll put up on their media outlets and their online outlets, and they probably don't get any clicks. So they just, you know, it's like they just fall off, don't they? Because nobody's really been looking at them or interested in them. But when they get a big story, or a story that for whatever reason people are interested in, and, you know, no offense to Jay, but people were probably more interested in Jay because of what had just happened with Michael Mosley going missing on a Greek island. So there was a lot of talk, wasn't there, about tourists going missing. And then next up comes this young lad, he's gone missing. And of course he's young as well, and for me it was interesting because he was from my neck of the woods. He's from Lancashire. He's gone missing in Spain, and, you know, obviously, although I'm not in Tenerife, I am in Spain. So all those were the different reasons that attracted me to this story, right, literally from day one. Exposed to the elements, you know, different kinds of things, and I just want to raise awareness, as I hope I have done with other videos that I've done. But this is a young boy now that we're talking about. You know, most of, yeah, I remember now, because of course we're coming up to, well, you're in the holiday season, aren't you? And that's what I've been trying to raise awareness, because I do think British people, when they go abroad to hot countries, they don't know how to cope with the sun, or to how to respect it properly. Because, you know, Jay there, he's forgetting that he's in Tenerife, in Masca. He's like trying to walk home as if he's walking from Manchester town centre. you know, even to Oswestwhistle, he could probably do that, you know, even though it'd be a long way and it'd take a long time. But he knows that, you know, they know the areas. He knows he can get a bus. He knows he can get a taxi or whatever, or he can phone his parents, or and of course he was unfortunately misjudged sort of where he was. And he is not the only one. So I think a lot of tourists that go missing or die in unfortunate circumstances, like Michael Mosley, it's not necessarily foul play, is it? It's, you know, Michael, he seemed to take a wrong turn. I don't think it's ever really been said exactly why he ended up going the wrong way. Maybe he just took a wrong turn, but he's supposed to have known that island really, really well, isn't he? Maybe he was starting with a touch of dementia and he just, because we saw what that was like. It all looked the same, didn't it? I mean, God, what a bleak island that was, you know. And did he just turn the wrong way because it all looked the same? And of course, the very tragic thing about Michael Mosley was he was literally within a minute of finding safety and that, because he was right near the cafeteria when he just, it looks like he just sat down and succumbed to the elements. So that's where it all started, wasn't it? Talking about tourists taking care of themselves. And I was saying to you all of you that are going away this year, maybe to warm countries, you know, make sure you're careful. Not only in this case of like getting lost, but make sure you put your sunscreen on. Don't go out in the heat of the day. Don't take your holiday head with you and think nothing can happen to you, because I've seen it a million times here in Spain. People come out to Spain on holiday and they've got like what I call the holiday head. They don't think things can happen to them, you know, and they take chances that they wouldn't do where they come from. Like they leave their door open, or they carry a lot of money around with them, or, you know, they trust people that they shouldn't trust. You know, you've got to be just as careful in Spain as you have anywhere. And even in little villages, you know, I mean, most crime, of course, is in the big cities. Barcelona is notorious for pickpockets, etc., isn't it? But even in little villages and things, you've always got to be careful, because, you know, Spain is just like anywhere else, and tourists are easy prey. There'll be people out there that prey on tourists. It'd be the same in London. It'd be the same in any place in the UK where there's a lot of tourists. Tourists are easy to target, and they tend to have money with them, or, you know, cameras or things that they can, that the people that, you know, can either pickpocket them or steal off them and sell on easily. That's what criminals are looking for. They're not looking for your passport or anything like that. They're just looking for easy money. They don't want your credit cards. They don't want anything that can tie you to them. So you'd normally find if someone steals your bag, they would just chuck your credit cards or leave them in the bag. Because if they get caught by the police with one of your credit cards on them, that's evidence. You know, they don't want that. They just want the cash. They just want things that can't be traced. They don't want credit cards or passports, anything with a name on that can link them to what they've done to you. So bear that in mind. Aye. And yet, always have your travel insurance. So. Yeah, always have your travel. You need your travel insurance because, you know, listen, I never take out travel. I'm telling you what you should do, not what I do. I'm terrible. I never take out travel insurance. But to be honest, I don't really travel anywhere except back to the UK, you know, to see the family. It's rare that I go anywhere else. So I suppose then I'm thinking, oh, well, at least I've got family in the UK who'll look after me, hopefully, if anything happens to me. But you should always have travel insurance. And yeah, because if your body has to be repatriated, it costs a fortune. You know, that's why I'm glad they have got the GoFundMe going. You know, they don't have to work, because at the time that Jay Slater's this time that they're going through, it's bad enough. Whether you know, imagine going through what they're going through now, and not having the money to pay for it. You know, at least they haven't got to worry about the money, you know, of getting their son home, having the funeral and this, that and the other. I mean, imagine like if you sort of got not only going through all that, but what would you do? You know, what would you do if you didn't have the finances to sort things out? Just, you know, it just doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest. Okay. Jim needs a Karen. Okay, I'm going because I've got nothing else to tell you about Jay. But so tomorrow was, you know, I'm gonna start looking at some other cases now as well, maybe of missing people. There's lots of things I want to talk about, and what I was thinking tomorrow night, of course, is members live, and I think I'd like to talk about, and I'll ask the members what they think. But what do you think about all this strict, totally changing the subject, but a lighter subject in one way, though it is a serious subject. What about all this about Strictly Come Dancing, you know, and they've got rid of 2 dancers, haven't they, for bullying and things. I mean, what do you think about that? You know, I can't decide what I think about it. I've got to research it a little bit more, but I thought we might talk about that tomorrow in the members live, just to talk about something completely different from true crime, really, because true crime is interesting, but you know, sometimes it can be a bit depressing. I'm just hoping that I can sleep tonight, because last night, honest to God, every time I closed my eyes, all I could see was Jay up on that mountain, and it was just horrible. I just hope he didn't suffer. And how his mum, she's got to be on some sedatives or something, because, you know, I thought I was going to need a sedative last night to sleep. Never mind. I don't even know Jay, but I feel like I know him, of course, because I've done so many videos about him. But, oh, rest in peace. My God, Anyway, so I thought maybe tomorrow night in the members we'd do something different, a bit lighter. Quiz night. No, I'm not doing a quiz night. Not tomorrow. Eventually I will. I will do another quiz night along the line, but not tomorrow. I haven't got time to plan it. Let's talk about gardening. Listen, I'll tell you about gardening in Spain. Oh my God. It's really difficult, you know, because, I mean, I haven't got garden. My house, I've got patios and they're like a roof terrace, which you can't grow anything up on the roof terrace because it's so hot in the summer. Everything just dies because it's just boiling hot. It's also up 3 flights of stairs, so I can't be bothered going up the stairs all the time to water the plants. But I've got a little patio outside this window here, and I do every now and again have a little mad moment and put a load of plants out there, and it all looks lovely. And but again, it's just the heat is so extreme, the weather is so extreme. In the summer, you know, you've got to water them twice a day. Some people get like a watering system, which that works if you get, you know, if you get something like that, I suppose, but I've just never got around to it. So I've just got a load of empty pots out there with soil in because all the plants have died again. And I do love plants. And, you know, the plants that do well here are, of course, bougainvillea and things like that like heat. But I can't even keep them alive. You know, talk about green fingers. I've got black fingers. In Spain, they call it the black hand, you know, so you've got either a green hand or a black hand, as opposed to sort of green fingers, or I always say I've got black fingers, because I just, any plant I ever have, it always dies, and I had a neighbour who was, had a garden centre. He was always bringing me plants round. Oh God, bring me lovely plants. Oh, I bought you a present, and I'm like, oh, and within 3 weeks it'd be dead, and he'd be saying, "How's your plant doing?" I'm like, "It's dead." The only plant I can keep alive is a cactus. I've got some cactuses. Oh God, here we go with cactuses again. I've got some cactuses, and they're lovely actually because they flower every year, so they're really nice. Oh. Yes, do you think anyway, we're going to talk about Strictly tomorrow night in the members, I think, and other things if people want to talk about them. But thank you for being here tonight with me, and rest in peace, Descansa en paz, Jay. And I just pray for his family. I just hope they manage to come through it okay. And, just wish these horrible armchair detectives. It's not all armchair detectives are horrible. I'm not horrible. I hope I'm not anyway. I mean, I've learned things over the time of being an armchair detective. You've never got, hi, Simon. Yeah, no, where have you been? Missed you. You learn, because it's easy to get swept up in things. That's one thing I've definitely learned. You can get swept up in all these rumours, and there's a part of you sort of thinking, oh, well, is he on a boat, or is it, because people are so certain, like the thing with the Rolex watch. I don't think that was ever true, but there was a part of me at the time was thinking, well, did he steal a watch? That's how it is. Okay, thank you. And I'll see you very soon, as always, in the next video. And until then, look after yourself, and may your God go with you. Bye.